How's everybody doing? My name is Kurt Friedrich, and welcome to episode 20 of TNT Stocks. Our actual date is August 10th, 2025. The simulated date is August 3rd of 2026. We've had some big money movement over the past, since the last episode. A lot to talk about, so let's go ahead and get through the criteria and the disclaimer and start unpacking our episode. Criteria. We do one episode or one video per week. We'll simulate 1 month. I'll create videos when available on Army or when available at home, not while traveling on Army Reserve duty or vacations. Any week with a missed video will not be considered a simulated month. Each video will simulate loading $100 to the TNT Stocks account. Stocks bought prior to July 18th, 2025 will be under a live 1-month probation time unless a selling exception is made. All stocks bought or sold in the simulation are actual companies with their actual end-of-week closing stock prices. This month we bought 3 stocks at the price range of $5 to $240. So let's see what $100 per video will look like over time. A couple things I want to point out. I've said in the last few slides, July 18th we kind of changed our strategy up. So when we change that strategy up, this probation timeline no longer was in effect, but we still have a few line items that are under this criteria here. Also want to point out that we have changed our minimum purchase of $5 amount here. Basically, I did some reading the other day and was saying that anything under $5 is considered a penny stock. Again, that was my own research, not saying that is factual or anything of that nature. Just something I read, and then also me personally, I'm not interested in penny stocks, and we'll kind of see from our experience in the simulation where that plays out when we start going through our portfolio. All right, disclaimer. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. I'm not qualified or certified to give professional investment advice, such as that $5 penny stock amount. Day trading has high risks involved. Any gain or loss is at a personal risk. Past performances do not guarantee success in future stock purchases. It is highly recommended that you do your own due diligence when it comes to deciding which stock you will purchase. In our due diligence, again, with that $5 threshold, which you will see here in this slide, which we will still get to here in a minute. There's some things on this slide that I want to cover first, namely all this light blue. I'm not going to go through each line item that is light blue, but light blue are items that we sold since last video. A lot of moving pieces in the stock market since our last video. I think some tariffs went out, got in place again, really drove our portfolio down in the wrong direction, which meant that it was time to go ahead and sell some. You see a lot. Sell a lot of line items. On the plus side, you see a lot of line items here on the gain loss are positive. Some are negative. Let's see. I think it's, GoGo Incorporated, our top one we made the most, $30.60. You see right above it, CVI was pretty good with $15.76. Our biggest loser was Houston American Energy Corporation, negative $15. But overall, not too bad. I've said it's been coming. We've been growing this portfolio, and it's gotten bigger and bigger, and I said it's going to come time where we sell a bunch of it off. Well, that time has come. We sold a bunch of it off. Continuing on with the different colors, we got still at the top, SBEV is our top money loser at basically $35. You see here we bought it at $6 and it dropped below that $5 amount and just kept dropping. You see down here, second from the bottom, we tried to purchase it again thinking it was going to rally under that $5 amount. It did not rally, it kept going down. And it kept going down big time since the last video. AGL, same thing. It was above $5 when we purchased it. It dropped below it, kept going down. You see, where is it? Here it is again. We tried to purchase it About a month later, thinking maybe it'll rally back. It was under that $5 amount. It did not rally back. It continued to drop. And so, yeah, you see some other ones. Wedo, about a 290, kept going down. I think that's pretty much the only other one like that. So I think all the other ones we finally did just get rid of. And then also our old strategy. This slide right here is everything purchased before July 18th. So this page is pretty much covering our old strategy. Pretty much going to stay with that. Some of these stocks we are riding. We're riding them until they die, basically, or until something else drastic happens. So, but I want to point out with our new strategy, these 33, 54, negative 70% here. Yeah, we're not going to let stocks fall that far anymore. Moving on to the next slide, you see there's one more here on this slide that we sold within the, July 3rd is when we purchased it. Main thing that I want to point out here are the stocks we bought. National Fuel Gas Company, one stock at 87.89. TrueBridge, 6 shares at 18.91. Hess Midstream LP, 2 shares at 41.64. These stocks were. This one was. Oh yeah. Also, alibi here. These are not. Let me back up. These are not what we purchased these at. So I was trying to make. I made an error on this slide and kept trying to make a correction, and then on this slide it kept crashing. The recording kept crashing. This is actually like the 4th time I'm trying to record this. I made this change. Hopefully I get through this slide. So correction. It was. NFG was bought at 2 shares, TVRG was 12 shares, and then HESM was 2 shares, all totaling about around the $200 range area. So these are going to be some big money right here, big money movers right here. So let's hope that the over/under is going to be big time in the right direction. And you see here, of course, if we were to sell everything, it's on the next slide. If we sold everything that's in our portfolio right now, we'd be at negative $28.83. See, we had what 1, 2, 3, 4 months moving in the right direction. Now we're 3 months moving in the wrong direction. When we remove all those line items that we sold that are in a positive, this is even going to drive further in the wrong direction, which we'll see in the last slide. I have a feeling that in the next episode, it's still going to be moving in the wrong direction. But hopefully the market starts rallying back up and we will see it where it's not as bad as it may be. Maybe it will, who knows, maybe it'll even move in the right direction. So disappointed on this slide, but again, it's part of the market. And overall, you see it's still higher than where we were majority of this slide in the previous months. So that's a plus. However, right now, it's going to projecting the move on the lower end of all that, but we'll see. This slide I did like. You see a big move in the income, July for income. We went from negative $35 to negative $11. Of course, we want this on the positive side, but hey, we'll take a big move as we get it. When we do sell some of the stocks that are kind of driving or starting to move low, I have a feeling that this slide will be hard to get on the positive side. But what we want to capture is those stocks that are making big gains, and hopefully those stocks continue to grow to a point where when we do eventually sell them, we have what we have here, a big take home. So this is probably the biggest positive of this episode is we went from our take home being at $22 to now $55, $55.49. So big, biggest take home we've had on any videos. I hope that especially with these three that we purchased this past week, that they overall have big gains. And then when we eventually sell it, that this slide here makes it even bigger jumps. So what was this? About a $33 swing. We want to make this, towards the end of all these videos in 20 years or so, we want this to be like thousands of dollar swings, which hopefully it gets to that point. Invested, this one took a dip. First time it's taken a dip. Basically, that's because when I do the purchases of the stocks, it's between that range. And one of the ones that what was NFG was purchased, it was like had like $60 left in its wiggle room. Some of the other ones had a little bit more in its wiggle room, so that's why this one kind of took a little bit of a dive. Not something we're going to see regularly. Next month when we purchase again in the next video, it should come back up to where it's supposed to be. But basically, what this is also is the shares that we have at their purchase price. That's what this slide represents. And then here's what we have in our portfolio altogether. This one should always be moving up. And this one basically illustrates what we're adding into it. Of course, as we sell in, basically when we sell a stock that's in the positive, half of it goes back into the portfolio, half of it goes into our take home. So as we sell things in the positive, and this continues those continue to move back into a portfolio, the curve of this one should start going up at a higher rate. Either way, that's what we really want to see. Here we have our first combined slide, the over-under income take-home. You see it's really just starting to turn into a spaghetti mess. Over-under was pretty much on top of everything, now at the bottom. Interesting how that changes over one episode. Income, you see, has moved in the right direction, and take-home really moved in the right direction. Take-home, we may end up moving it to this slide. Probably won't be for a while, but if we start getting some serious take-home money, obviously, we put $100 in a month. Obviously, we want to see more take-home than $100 a month. That would be really cool. If it gets to that point, then I'll probably add it to this slide. And who knows, maybe it starts catching up to how much we have total invested and all that. But let me correct myself. I guess that would be, as that moves up, the total would go up. So everything I just said, disregard. It's probably going to just stay on this slide. Or may have to keep it as its own slide if it really starts deviating from the income amount and the over-under amount. Either way, these two should typically stay parallel. In the next episode, should move back close to each other in a parallel movement upward. So here's what we have if we removed all the we remove all the line items that we did sell. Here's what we have in our portfolio altogether. Again, the last three items, alibi on those, take what the shares say and multiply it by 2. But the gain loss is correct. If we sold everything that we have Monday at opening, we would have an overall loss of $78.87. Sorry, I'm stumbling over my words more than I usually do, but that's because, again, this is my 4th time trying this. It looks like it is finally going through this time. The recording still shows that it's running. So, yeah, portfolio did overall shrink a little bit. Maybe those other ones I can start squeezing back into one slide. I really hope that we don't sell anything between the next video. I really want what we have to grow. I want the market to come back up a little bit. Let's get some of these that are really deep in the negative back into the positive as much as we can. And then those bottom 3, hopefully we see those make some really big numbers in the gain loss category. And if they do, who knows? Sats, you may have some stuff there at the bottom, send you running for your green light on there. So But stats is doing good. Still doing really good. So anyhow, I hope you guys enjoy this video. I enjoy talking about the stock market and day trading. I hope you all get some useful information out of it. So with that being said, good stock hunting. Don't forget to comment, rate, share, subscribe, all of the above, and we'll see y'all at the next episode. Until then, take it easy.